Hey guys, this is Miss, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to play Skywrath as a position 4 and how to kind of roam and put pressure on lanes that need to be shut down. This is probably one of the most important videos for you to kind of absorb and abstract from, and this is because Skywrath in the early game is extremely strong, and this is when you're going to win your lanes. If you haven't won a lane past maybe the 5-minute mark, you sort of didn't do your job, and it can be hard sometimes because of the heroes, but you usually can find an opening. So the biggest important point is to get active on the map. By get active, I mean really think about what lane you want to shut down. This can be hard to choose, but let's say it's an Invoker mid or a Tinker mid, right? You're scared of their mid player, a Death Prophet mid, you know, something with not so much escape, but will kind of be a threat later. Go there at level 1, spam your Q on them constantly. You should be basically making them hate you. That's your job. So like I said in the item build, buy a couple clarities, or buy like Null Talisman Clarity Courier, and go middle, spam them, clarity up, kind of maybe get rune, and then spam them again. One important thing about trading damage, right, when you're mid trading damage with them, you need to preserve your HP. You cannot trade auto attacks with them. If you trade auto attacks, you will lose the exchange, because Skywrath has 0 armor at level 1, and he's very susceptible to taking auto attack damage. Think of it this way, they auto attack you, you're taking pure damage. It is essentially the same thing. You have 0 armor, 0% reduction. You cannot trade auto attacks. Do not try to do it. The only time you're going to be auto attacking is if they cannot trade with you. If they're half health, and you know, well, if I just attack him, he's dead, then that's fine. But if he's full health and you're full health, just spam your Q and stay back. Fortunately, your Q has a decently long range too, so you can get away with this. So let's say you kind of made a mistake and you end up at half health or a third health a little bit too early. Or maybe you did your job and you're completely out of mana and you're 100% health. Well, at this point, you go down to Ancients or Roshan. You literally just run into the Ancients or Roshan and you die. And at this point, you're going to have maybe about 300 gold, more than likely. You want to buy maybe another ward, a TP, maybe another clarity, and if you're lucky, maybe you get your boots instead. But either way, you're going to respawn with full health and mana. What do? You TP back, and you do the same thing that you just did. It's going to really tax their regen. And if the enemy supports don't show up, then they will basically lose their lane. Leading into the next important point, Skywrath is very susceptible to getting basically counter-ganked. If you're mid lane and you're not being aware, suddenly there's a Ricky on top of you with Orb of Venom and you get cold snapped by the Invoker, you're going to die because he has 0 armor again. You're not in a luxury to make any mistakes. Again, do not underestimate Skywrath's ability to roam from lane to lane. He has 315 base move speed. This means he can get from mid to top in a much quicker time span, something like a Shadow Shaman, who has, I guess, like 30 less move speed than him at level 1. Getting runes on Skywrath is also very important. You need to camp runes. If you get a haste rune, you're a monster. If you get a DD rune, you can trade auto attacks. If you get a regen rune, great. Maybe you go up to full mana. There's a lot of things that Skywrath can benefit from almost all of the runes. The only thing that's not so valuable is illusion. But picking up runes also makes it so that your mid lane, you know, maybe actually you camp the rune and your mid gets it, or maybe you prevent their mid from picking up the rune. So at this point, you've kind of harassed mid, or you've harassed a lane of your choosing. And let's say you did a great job, and your mid's like level 5 and their mid's level like 4 or 3 or whatever. At this point, you're probably going to be level 2, and you're going to be kind of under-leveled. This is going to be around 5 or 6 minutes even, or maybe like 5 minutes probably. And you're going to need to focus on experience. You have to shift gears as roamers, usually. You have to shift gears or you're going to fall behind. At this point, one of the best things to do is to ask, maybe if there's an Alchemist mid and he's level 6 or 7, you ask, hey Alch, can you go jungle so I can get some lane experience? Or maybe you start stacking and pulling the safe lane, or maybe you just start soaking experience in the safe lane and trying to zone the off lane. Either way, you need to get some experience up. At 10 minutes, if you're still not level 6, you want to buy the tome. It's very important on you. Almost more important than any other hero in the game. So the Tome of Experience needs to be bought by you. And then once you're level 6, you can basically smoke up with anyone and go kill someone with your ult. Don't really worry about not hitting a fast level 6. Your job is to shut down a lane with your spells. And if that means sacrificing experience early on, then so be it. That's your job. Ganking on Skywrath is pretty simple. You know, if you show up to a lane, say you're level 4. Press your W as you're going in, spam your Q, and then what you want to do is you want to save. You want to try to time your silence so that you prevent them from escaping. If it's, say, like a timber saw, you want to do it immediately. If it's maybe some other hero that doesn't have an escape, maybe you don't need to use your silence. You should try to judge those things, though. Most of the time, you're going to want to just cast all your spells as quick as possible and blow the person up. But sometimes you can get away with saving your mana. So hopefully this was helpful. Early game Skywrath, get active. Just try to run around, and you will find success on this hero. He does a lot of damage. So see you in the next video, which is going to be Skywrath in the mid and late game.